thought to come on because, I might as well record it, document it. And I want to talk about health. Like, it's important. It's important that we get away from the notion that everything about, science. Everything is about science. If you understand and you go to school, right? And when you go to school, you think about the periodic table, you think about cells. We're made up of cells. We started from plants. We are made from the earth. So you have to think about that. Think about biology as well as science, right? So we can cure our bodies of things because our bodies are made to heal. If you know that your body is designed to heal itself, then you understand that our body can heal. You understand that there are things out there that can heal your body, reconstruct your body, no matter what's going on with your body, even cancer. The first thing is you have to mentally understand. If you can understand that your body can heal from here, your mind, then you can understand your body can heal from here. And it's not hard to understand. The plants that are made, look up every single plant there is. Start from A to Z. That's what the encyclopedia is for, or the internet is for. Look up the information. And you'll find out what each plant is designed for. And you would be amazed at the capability of plants. That's why it's important to have plants. Why would people destroy the earth and take away the very things that's designed to save the earth, replenish the earth, grow the earth? Plants. The earth started out with plants. Understand that. Think about how it used to be just the earth when there was no humans. It started out as plants and water and land. If you don't believe me, look up Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia will tell you the beginning of the earth and how it started. So that's how you find out as you look through history. History has always been written in some way or the other. You know why? Because stories have always been told. If you understand where the first man came from, then you'll understand civilization. You'll understand our existence. Think about the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is designed to heal. When you think about salt, people use salt to heal. Look up salt and what it's used for, because it's more than just seasoning on your food. Salt is very useful. Now, anything too much of something can cause a reaction. So that's why it's important not to put too much of something in your body, because you overdo something that can cause other problems. Everything is a physical, biological. You have to think about all of that. Now, do you really believe that evolution started and we came from apes? If that were true, why aren't the apes now turning into people? Think about that. Think about as the earth grew older and the earth divided, there was less plants. The plants that grow in certain areas. Think about how dinosaurs started out big and then they became small. Now, when I say they became small, they're no different from the animals that you see. They just evolved. Same as people. People evolve too. Animals evolve. Just the same. It used to be, people used to live hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. But now, they don't. You ever ask yourself why they're not living long now? And that's because of the things that we put in our system, the foods that are bad for us. Our body is not designed to take in foreign objects. When I say foreign, the science that you're speaking of is foreign. It's foreign. They put in things in there that's not designed for your body because you're human. And God designed your body a certain way. You're not at all curious about how your body is made. You see, curiosity is how people learn. It's how people decide to construct things, create things, make things. It's by curiosity. And if you can think it, you can create it. You never ask yourself why people now can't create pyramids, but back then they did? How advanced were their minds? How advanced was their technology? That they can create pyramids. They understood the earth. They understood what plants were made for. Think about rubber trees. You would never think by looking at a tire that it came from a plant. But it came from a plant. The structure of it doesn't look like it came from a plant. How could it possibly come from a green plant? But it did. Because rubber trees are made for rubber. So if you can think and know that a rubber tree can make rubber, then why can't you think that trees can and plants can make other things? It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. Because God made plants for everything. Everything. Everything that you can ever think of. See, that's the things we need to research is how the earth started. You know how the earth started, you'll know what kept the earth, what sustained the earth. That's why I love history, because history gives you more information than just somebody's story. It gives you facts. Gives you facts. Things you can use. If we had our own labs, we can discover so many different things. That's how you can create things. That's how you can discover what is useful and what is not. You'll find out that the doctors that you seek, God has already created in the plants. And us as people, we always need somebody to tell us what we need to hear in order for us to act on it. Don't wait for somebody to tell you. Actually look up the information yourself. If you have an ailment, high blood pressure, look it up. Find out what's good for it. There's a lot of health websites out here that talk about health. A lot of experts out here, doctors. You can find the information, especially if you don't believe what someone is saying or if you're questioning it. Because people will question what you say. They won't question what a doctor say, right? They don't think you know. They don't think you know what you're talking about. But that's why it's important that you question everything in life. Everything. Question everything. Because when you question everything, then you'll go look for the answer. You'll go find out the truth. That's what's important. Right? Sometimes, people will look at you, they'll look at the color of your skin, they'll say you don't have a Harvard Law degree, and they'll think you don't know nothing. But when you prove them, if you tell them go look up the information that I'm telling you, then not only are you teaching them, you can also prove that you're right. To educate a person, you must get them to find out the information for themselves. That's how you keep a person educated. That's how you become their teacher. They have to look it up themselves. Because most of the time when you go to school, you just take their word for it. Because they're the teacher. They have a title to it. And anybody can wear a title, just like anybody can wear a badge, right? But does that mean that they're qualified? They have some teachers that teaching. They just going by the curriculum, so they can easily just pick up the curriculum book and tell you to read it. But are they really teaching you the knowledge? See, if I was teaching, I'd tell you to look up the information that I'm saying every time I'm talking about the lecture. That way, as I'm talking about it, and you're looking the information up, you're reading it. And if you're reading it, you're comprehending it. You're understanding that what I'm saying is true. Because the proof is always in the pudding. It's funny how, think about this. Marijuana. You know, it is now a plant, whereas the government says that it is healing to your body. It is designed to heal your body now with medicine. Now they can make money off of it in public and call it medicine, but did you know it's always been medicine? But at one time, the government called it a drug, putting people in jail for it. People have records behind marijuana. Did you also know if you call it weed, you can be prosecuted? But if you call it marijuana, it is considered a medicine. Did you know that? That's why it's important. It's important to know your rights. Important to know the knowledge. Knowledge is very important. The government can call it a drug, but if you would have went to court and said it is marijuana, it is a healing plant, they can't argue with you. Because it is a healing plant. If they say it's weed, weed is against the law. Marijuana is a healing plant. It's always been a healing plant. Now get this. The government can say coffee is legal, but coffee is the same as the cocoa leaf. The cocoa leaf is also used as a drug. Yet coffee is legal. If you ever ask yourself what else the cocoa leaf is good for, besides being used as a drug, because they will create something because they know what its uses are, call it a drug, make it against the law, put it in your neighborhood, and then when you get it and you take it, you going to jail for it. Now, who knew what the cocoa leaf was used for in the first place? Who had that idea? Who brought the idea to the hood? Who brought that idea to the hood? Did you know the plant for ayahuasca? It can create a hallucination, or you can go into a deep thought, right? Yet they have used that as a force and a weapon to control the masses and to incarcerate people. But they use what they want. They put what they want in the neighborhoods to drug people, put people on drugs so they can make sure, one, you live in poverty, and two, you're unhealthy, you're dying. And three, that they criminalize you. Plants are used as a weapon. There are a lot of plants out there that are bad for you, but they're used in different ways. And depending on how you use it, it could be a good thing or a bad thing. You have to really understand how plants work and what they're used for. You could be using it the wrong way, or you could be growing it the wrong way, and it will become bad. People think it's a bad seed. No, it's not a bad seed. It's how you grow the seed that makes it bad. You don't grow it right, turns out bad. If you grow it right, it blossoms. Right? So seeds are very important. It needs a little bit of sunlight at certain times of the day. And at night, it doesn't need the sunlight. That's the reason why there's day and there's night. Because the earth is on a time clock. And it's because the plants need to grow a certain way. It's time. That's why you see that if you have plants grown in this area, the sun will shine on that area for part of the day. And then the sun will take itself away from that area for another part of the day. Because the plants don't need sunlight all day or they'll die. That's why all work and no play makes you very grouchy. Yeah. Plants. God designed the earth to grow the plants, the very plants that God put on this earth for us. There's an entire encyclopedia of plants. You heard me? And that encyclopedia may not even carry every single plant. You have to actually travel to these countries to find out what the plants are, what they're growing. I never even heard of bitter leaf until I knew somebody from Liberia. Never heard of it. Never heard of what's the other one called? I forgot the name of it, but it's such a good plant. But my point here is there's so many different plants in the world that are healing, that you have to find out about them. You have to find out about them. They're good for every ailment because there's not an ailment alive that man created that God does not know or that God didn't create a plant to heal it. Men think they're slick, but they can't outdo God. Because God already created the earth. You see, what they're trying to figure out in science is how God works, how man is created. How man is created, how our bodies work, how we put together so craftily, so beautifully made. What makes our engine run? In science, what science does is science breaks down the body. That's what science does. Science breaks down the body. They want to break the entire body down. In order for you to fix a car, you first have to know the broken car in order to fix it. If the car is always working and never broke, you wouldn't understand how to fix the car. So you first have to deassemble a car. You have to take it apart first in order for you to put it back together. That's how people can understand who go to school for automotives. They understand how to build a car from scratch. Like a puzzle, like a Lego. Because they had to take it apart first in order to put it back together. So that's what science does. Science creates ways to break your body down to figure out how to build it back up again. If they create science to see how your heart works, they first have to break down the heart, make sure it's not working, or make sure it's breaking down in order for them to fix the heart. In order for them to do brain surgery and understand how your brain works, they first have to make something go wrong in the brain. Create medicines to give you headaches, to mess with your memory. To see what will happen if you all of a sudden become slow or hallucinogenic. They have to break your body down first in order to understand how your body works. That's what science does. They had no clue how the body works. No clue. How could man possibly know how God made you? Unless you experiment. Unless you do experimentations. In order for you to know how to fix an arm if it breaks, you have to first break the arm so you can figure out how to reconstruct the arm. When people donate their body to science on their driver's license, that's so that they can experiment with you. And how can they experiment on your body parts if you are alive? They can, by making sure you get sick. You understand, you want to understand how something works, take it apart. When you see a kid and the kid took your radio, or a kid took his own PlayStation and he took the PlayStation apart and he started figuring it out, that kid is a genius. Because the fact that he's even questioning it means he wants to understand its ingenuity. Most kids don't even think on that level. If he broke it down and teared it up, he wants to understand how it works. Don't you think God is a genius? If God discovered and created you, man is just trying to find out how God did it and how our bodies are made. God made our bodies to heal our bodies. Think about that. If we can heal ourselves, how is that possible? So that's what science does. These people are curious. They started experimenting on Black people because they wanted to know why we were God's chosen people. Why we were the first man. They know we're the first. They know that. They've been mad ever since. They've been upset. Think about it. If everyone in the world is colored, every single person, except for people who are not melanated. Did you know that there are unmelanated animals and unmelanated plants too? But they all come from the same source. Some just came out unmelanated. So yes, we all come from one human race. Your melanation depends on the earth, and if you came with melanin at all. Just like the plant on how the earth, the sun shines on the plant at certain times of the day, or even at all, because depending on where you live, there may not be no sun at all. I know when I lived in Minnesota, there wasn't really any sun in Minnesota. It was cold all the time. Very few sun. So depending on where you live and where you grew up in, what country you're from, may depend on if the sun is shining on you or not. You get your melanation from the sun. Think about plants and how they're made. Look up melanation, look up melanin, so you can understand how melanin works. That's why people look different, because of where you are from. The sun doesn't shine everywhere, the same place, same time, same day, same way. It shines differently. That's how you understand the earth and people and animals. Why is it that they don't have a lot of camels in America? Do anybody wonder and ask themselves, what kind of animal is that? Did you know China grows different types of animals too? Now let me tell you why China grows different types of animals. It's not just because of the earth, but it's also because of the chemicals. If you put chemicals into the sea and into the water, those biochemicals can create reactions in your animals as well, not just the earth. So that's how they created large animals, because of the chemicals. They're eating, drinking off the chemicals. So yes, to understand how things work, you have to understand the earth. Chemicals. Chemicals can destroy the earth. Biochemicals. It has. It has destroyed the water supply. It has destroyed the seas. And what do you have to do in order to fix that? You have to grow. You have to grow plants that are designed to clean the earth. There are different plants that are designed to clean the sea. Even that nasty, nasty oil that you see in the water. You see, it's hard for our fish to breathe because the stuff and the chemicals that's going into the sea is causing the oxygen to die. And because you aren't creating oxygen through algae, because you don't know how to grow the algae, in fact, the chemicals that you have created have grown the algae wrong. So you first have to create the plants that clean the sea and then plant the algae. Because if algae grows wrong, it becomes poisonous and bad. So you have to grow it correctly. Clean water. So you first have to clean the water. So you have to create the plants that clean the water and put those in the sea to clean the sea. As far as the air is concerned, it's the same way. The air needs to be purified of the toxins that has been creating a smog in the earth. That smog is what's clothing the ozone layer. The earth cannot breathe. You are smothering the earth with the bioscience chemicals. And furthermore, you have taken every plant that God created away from the earth. You're not even growing trees anymore because you want to use it for lumber, yet you don't replant the trees. That's what I like about Georgia. Georgia has some type of law or state rule that if you cut down a tree, you must plant another one in its place. And it only makes sense. It only makes sense. Because that's how you keep the trees going. Georgia is full of trees, man. Every single block got trees. Okay. The question is, have they planted the right trees? They might not have planted the right trees to purify the air, which that's what needs to be done. The air needs to be purified. Any disease, any sickness, anything can be traveled through the air through smog and toxins. Because toxins are just like mold, it can grow and fester everywhere. So the toxins in the air grow with the other toxins, is growing so much bad pollutants in the air. You just imagine every time you open your door in your house, you're letting that pollutant into your house. And that's the reason why your house is not purified either. That's why it's important to have those plants in your house to purify your house. Because you letting that in every time you open a window or you open that door. So what's in the outside is coming into your house too. So you're breathing it in your house. You're taking it in your lungs. A lot of us have asthma problems. A lot of us have breathing problems, especially in this heat. Why is it that people in Africa don't have breathing problems? And it's hot as hell. Why is it that people in Trinidad don't have breathing problems? And it's hot as hell. Any country next to the equator is hot. Okay? I've been to Trinidad, I know. Baby, look. You can't even take a hot shower there. You'll die. It's hot as hell. You have to take a cold shower. That's the only way to cool off. But people don't have breathing problems there because they don't have all that smog. Most cities that have more technology, they deal with the smog and the pollution. The more they have these factories that are creating these biochemistry, you're going to have all of that. That's why they say when you go to Los Angeles, it has a big smog. That's why in the state of California, there are smog laws. They don't have that in every state now. But if you create the plants that purify the air, you can get rid of the smog. And everybody can breathe in the city. So think about that. Think about how you can research plants to help your body. Think about all the things that are made on the earth from the beginning. Then you'll understand how things are made, how plants are designed to help your body. The periodic table isn't there for nothing. It actually comes from something. So I had to ask myself, when I look at the structure, the biological structure, or the periodic structure of a plant or a body, when you look at the chart, you look at the elements that's on that molecular structure, you see in most structures there is oxygen. And a lot of it is hydrogen as well. So then I had to ask myself, how is oxygen made? And how is hydrogen made? If most of your DNA and your structural, the molecules that make up the structures have oxygen, hydrogen in it, then you have to go back and understand, how is oxygen made? How is hydrogen made? And then you'll understand how to reconstruct or how to heal things based on the chart, the molecular chart of the structure. Protons and neutrons too. If you understand biology, you see, I don't have to be able to read a chart to understand it. I can just see it's made up of oxygens, hydrogen, carbon dioxide. So now I need to go and research how to make those elements in order for me to construct what I need. That's how it works. You understand? Math and science, it all goes hand in hand because of how things are structured. Question everything and look up every single word that you question. That's how you're going to understand how things are made. The reason why a wise man knows that he doesn't know everything is because you couldn't have possibly looked up everything. You could not have possibly. If you feel like that you know everything, then that means you definitely don't know enough. So you got to keep searching for information. You just got to keep searching, you know. You can't, and you can't listen to people that say, "Oh, you know, you think you know everything," or, you know. No, you cannot. Like, nobody knows everything. You have to continuously look up the information. Like, you can't just believe what people say, because people don't know everything. Just like you don't. That's the reality of life. So no, you can't just take somebody's word. You have to look up the information. You have to question everything. That's why I like thinkers around me. If I were to hire a whole bunch of people in my company, it'd have to be thinkers. It'd have to be explorers. It'd have to be people that even question what I do. Because I know I don't know everything. I know they don't know everything, but if we put our minds together and we're all thinkers, we can create some powerful, powerful things together. That's how you do it. I want people around me that's going to question what I say and go look it up. And then they're going to come back to me with some more information that maybe I didn't know, I missed. I love some thinkers. I've never been afraid to tell people my thoughts. Because when you know that, damn, look at my edges. When you know, damn, when you know that you don't know everything, these are my edges. I mean, my edges. Oh my goodness. When you know that you don't know everything, then you'll start to educate yourself more. You'll start to learn more. Because there's so much to learn, you can't possibly know everything. So when people come around you with big words, man, break out that dictionary, man. Download the dictionary app. Download it, I'm telling you, because you need to know everything. You hear? The encyclopedia and the dictionary should be your best friends. I'm gonna make sure our kids know their vocabularies. I'm gonna make sure they look up everything they read so they can understand what they read. I was never a fast reader because I like to break things down like fractions. I like to read within what I'm reading, understand what I'm reading. So no, I was never a fast reader because I wanted to know more. Man, look at my edges. Oh my goodness. My edges are so long. I can't believe my edges. My lock jam is amazing. Oh my goodness. Well, this is amazing. But what I was trying to say, question everything. Question everything. Question everything. And teach yourself to do that. Because when you teach yourself to do that, you'll learn more. You'll learn more. You'll also learn what other people don't know. That's why I question my doctors. When I go into the doctor's office, I start talking about things because I've already researched my sickness before I went to the doctor. So I already tell the doctor what my symptoms are. I tell them what I think the diagnosis is going to be. And the doctors are looking at me like, damn, like, what you came in here for? You already know shit. My doctors be surprised by the knowledge that I know. And that's because I look up the information before I even go to the doctor. I need to find out what's going on too. So when they talking to me about something concerning me, I already know. You can't pull nothing over on me because I'm going to look up the information. A lot of them get paid off for surgeries. They get paid off for all different types of stuff. The medication that they give you, man, look that shit up. Look it up and find out how it's made. So you can find out what you're putting in your body. What else it causes. You have to know these things before you just put it in your mouth and just take their word for it. Look it up. When you look it up, then you have knowledge of it. Your understanding of it is different. You understand what you're putting into your body and what it'll do to your body. You have the freedom of choice. Use that choice to research what they're giving you. Because it's your choice whether you want to put it in your body or not. You can go find some natural health. You're not obligated to take their medicine. Anyway, I just wanted to speak on health. Let's talk about it. I am D, the owner of D Roster. And yeah, let's talk about health. Follow me on Patreon podcast as I talk about more information about health, because it's important that you know how the body works, how your body works, how science works. You know, we're going to research some of these things. So make sure you are paying attention to my video podcast. All right, I went a little bit over an hour. But God bless you. Start researching this information. Start researching the medication that you're taking, because it's important that you know what you're putting in your body. When your body starts breaking down, you can't really blame anybody but yourself, because you didn't do your research. I don't mean to be harsh, but in order for you to make change in your life, you first have to understand what you're doing to yourself. I know what I do to me. All right, God bless. Have a wonderful day. Make sure you like, share this video with other people so that they can understand too. They need that. They need a friend to give them vital information that's going to help them. Let's stop watching our people die. And let's start making sure that they live. God bless.